Hey, everybody. Great morning to you. It is 1 minute to the show, and I'm really excited. I can't wait to hear Leslie Jordan, Tracee Ellis Ross, and Leslie Jordan present the 94th. Leslie Jordan, Tracee Ellis Ross, and Leslie Jordan present the 94th. Leslie Jordan, Tracee Ellis Ross, and Leslie Jordan present the 94th Oscars. Welcome to Zenny 62 on YouTube, and by extension, Oakland News Now. And a little commentary as we begin. When you are looking to bet on who will win the Oscar, I recommend you look at the politics. There's a sites like used to be Wesley the Oscar guy. I think he's still going strong. Hopefully, it's been a while. And find out. Also, remember there's something called precursors. For example, the winner of the Screen Actors Guild tends to win Best Actor, and so on. Okay. So it's 8:18, and let's go and push the button. Starts in 2 minutes, 42 seconds. I'm excited. I am excited. One thing about that music, how everybody doing? I'm going to, I like that. But I'm going to mute it too, because chances are they're going to slap me with a copyright claim. I hate that when they do that. I wish they shouldn't though with the music, but hey, everybody's looking for a few bucks to make, right? So, that's the idea. And what they'll do, and what I hate about how things are done YouTube style, is they will actually take the earnings from your entire several hours long broadcast for one few seconds of claimed time that they believe belongs to them because there was some music in it. Now, it should be only that amount, right? But hey, fortunately, YouTube has tools where you can take that little sliver out, but I'd rather not deal with that. Okay, I really would rather not deal with that. So 1 minute, we start 58 seconds, 57, and I will start the countdown at 20 seconds, and then of course switch over the volume so we can hear it, what's going on. You're going to get this if you're thinking, gee, I'll just wait and watch television. No, this is in real time, okay? You're going to get this like right now. This is going to be happening in a few seconds. Okay, we know. I'm just going to do it right now. They didn't give me a countdown. I hate when they do that. The screen went dark, see? See what I mean? So, I like that thing.
Good morning, afternoon, evening. I may be in the movie capital of the world, but movies really live wherever you come together in theaters or in your homes to share great stories told on the screen. And today we celebrate that, thanks to the nearly 9,500 voting members of the Academy. They're movie makers, sure, but really movie lovers about to share the films they've loved the most this year. I hope you're doing the same with your friends and your family. Now's the time. Movie lovers unite. Let's meet your announcement hosts, Tracee Ellis Ross and Leslie Jordan.
I am so excited. I went to sleep dressed like this. Now let's go to the Oscars, Tracee. What time are you picking me up?
Uh-oh, Leslie, someone did not read the memo. The Oscars are not tonight. They're on March 27th. This morning, we just announced the nominees.
This is why I hate being hunkered down. I never know what day it is or month. But if it's not the Oscars, why are you dressed so nice?
Oh, this old thing? This is my workout outfit, Leslie. I just threw this on to go to cycling class in an hour. All right. This year's Oscars theme is Movie Lovers Unite. And during this next half hour, we will be joined by some very special movie lovers across the country to help us announce some of the nominees. Are you ready, Leslie?
Wait, I'll be right back. This outfit, it doesn't feel right for the Oscar announcements.
Okay. All right. Well, Oscar nominees in most categories are chosen by members of their respective branches, but nominees for Best Picture are chosen by the entire Academy membership. And if you stay tuned to find out how this year you, the fans, will be able to get to vote for your favorite movie and movie moment featured on the Oscar telecast.
Now I'm ready. I love it. Understated and traditional.
Very much
Here are the
understated.
nominees for performance by an actress in a supporting role.
Ooh.
Jessie Buckley in The Lost Daughter. Ariana DeBose in West Side Story. Judi Dench in Belfast. Kirsten Dunst in Power of the Dog. And Ingenue Ellis in King Richard.
My turn. Here are the nominees for achievement in costume design.
Ooh.
Cruella. Cyrano. Dune. Nightmare Alley. And West Side Story. I'm a little hurt my costume wasn't nominated again. Well, maybe next year. Here are the nominees for achievement in sound. Belfast. Dune. No Time to Die.
Yes.
The Power of the Dog. And West Side Story.
As part of our movie lovers uniting across the country, let's go to Troy, Michigan. Joining us are 11 healthcare professionals from Beaumont Hospital. Reading the nominees is physician's assistant and fellow movie lover, Shantia Bobo Harden, who loves the movie Girl Trip. Shantia, over to you.
Thank you, Tracee. Here are the nominees for achievement in music. Original score. Don't Look Up. Dune. Encanto.
Yeah.
Parallel Mothers. And The Power of the Dog.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Shantia. And thank you to all the healthcare workers at Beaumont and all across the country who do so much for all of us. Thank you. Leslie, wait. Is that an official Oscar pendant? And if so, why did I get one?
I borrowed it from your Oscar nominations gift basket.
Ah, okay.
And now, adapted screenplay. The nominees are Coda, screenplay by Sean Hayter. Screenplay by Ryusuke Hamaguchi and Taka Masaoka. Dune, screenplay by John Spates, Denis Villeneuve, and Eric Roth.
The Lost Daughter, written by Maggie Gyllenhaal.
And The Power of the Dog, written by Jane Campion.
Here are the nominees for original screenplay. Belfast, written by Kenneth Branagh.
Don't Look Up. Screenplay by Adam McKay. Story by Adam McKay and David Sirota.
King Richard, written by Zach Balin.
Licorice Pizza, written by Paul Thomas Anderson.
And The Worst Person in the World, written by Eskil Vogt and Joachim Trier.
Here are the nominees for Best Animated Short Film. Affairs of the Bestia, Box Ballet, Robin Robin, and The Windshield Wiper. Another category for me. Back to back Leslie again. I think they like my announcer voice. And now, the nominees for Best Live Action Short Film.
Well done.
A La Kachu, Take and Run, The Dress, The Long Goodbye, On My Mind, and Please Hold. It's so appropriate that I just announced animated short film and live action short for I Am Animated and Short.
Oh, Leslie. And now here are the nominees for performance by an actor in a supporting role. Corrine Hines in Belfast. Troy Kotzer in Coda. Jesse Plemons in The Power of the Dog. J.K. Simmons in Being the Ricardos. And Cody Smith-McPhee in Power of the Dog. In just a few minutes, we've got more nominee announcements coming up, including those for lead actor and actress, director, and best picture.
Well, folks, Power of the Dog is... Hold on a second. Power of the Dog is...
How much fun is this?
Well, this is the most fun I have ever had at 5:25 in the morning. Not.
You can tell that Leslie and I are bristling. We are bristling with diversity. We are bringing diversity to these announcements. I am Moderna.
And I am sparkling Pfizer.
Leslie, are you boosted?
Why, yes, Tracee, I'm sitting on a pillow.
Okay, joining us is another movie lover, film enthusiast, Reese Feldman. Reese, what's your reaction to the nominees for supporting actress? Tell us everything.
This is such a stacked category. I love it so much. Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter. I really loved her, and I'm thinking of ending things, so I'm really excited that she's getting recognized for this. Although Olivia Colman's getting a lot of praise for her performance in this movie, it's Jessie Buckley who helps move the story forward from the past. So she's just incredible. Ariana DeBose, hearing her name announced really just made me smile. Simply put, she's perfect as Anita in West Side Story. And for a character that's already won Rita Moreno an Oscar 60 years prior, it's just so incredible to me that she was able to step into this role and just make it entirely her own. Dame Judi Dench for Belfast, 7-time Oscar nominee, already won back in '98 for Shakespeare in Love. She's just so dialed in throughout this entire film and just plays great off of Kieran Hines. And I'm kind of excited to see her maybe get a second win. Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog. This was one I was really hoping for. I mean, that piano scene, gosh, she is such a talent. And I really hope this is the role that she's going to be remembered for moving forward. And I think the success of the movie largely deals with how good she is. And lastly, definitely not least, Ingenue Ellis. She has been consistently amazing in every role that she's been in for decades. And although she plays a supporting role in King Richard, she really does feel like an additional lead next to Will Smith for just how much power she brings to the performance. So it was just a great category.
What's your take on the costume nominees or on my costume?
Yours is fantastic, and it's the biggest snub here. It should have been nominated. But yes, Cruella, honestly, a really fun surprise of a movie of 2021. And obviously the costumes are such a focus. It's a fashion movie. The 70s London just does so much for it. And every dress genuinely looks like it deserves to be at the Met Gala. Cyrano, I'm a sucker for period pieces, and the fact that it takes place in 17th century France just feels like it was written for me. The formal wear, the military uniforms, the design of the plays, it's all just so good. Dune, I think, is such a cool nomination because it's a sci-fi movie, and it's really tough to submerge a viewer in the reality of the film, and because of the costuming, it kind of grounds us in this futuristic reality. It's advanced yet familiar. Nightmare Alley, I really liked that. It has just so many different settings. The carnival scenes are great, and the costuming in that is wonderful. And the worlds that Guillermo del Toro crafts, the costumes absolutely match it, and the whole look of the film is wonderful. And lastly, West Side Story. This film, 60 years prior, has already won an Oscar for costume design, and I really wouldn't be surprised if it wins again. The costumes, the color, the attention to detail, the way that each costume kind of speaks to the characters as individuals, it's really just one of the many reasons why I love that movie so much this year.
What categories are you most excited to see coming up?
Oh, I've been dying to see who's going to get nominated for Best Picture. That's one I've been waiting the whole year for.
And do you see any trends? Do you see any trends developing? Anything that's you can cue us into?
I don't know. I feel like it's too early to say. I really love who's been nominated, but I'm interested to see, I guess, also Best Film Editing. That's one that I always love to look out for, and I'm always interested to have the Academy voters decide. So that's definitely another one that I'm kind of really looking forward to.
Well, thank you so much, Reese. It's really been fun hearing your take on all of this, and we'll be checking back in with you later.
Sounds great.
So, Leslie, how's it feeling on your side?
Feeling good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Seems so rushed. Hearing your name announced this morning is a moment each nominee will never forget. Not that I would know what an Oscar nomination is like, but a boy can dream.
Oh, Leslie, and a girl can dream too.
For those hunker downers just joining us, good morning.
Good morning. And for those who have been watching, welcome back. All right. Now it is time for the rest of the Oscar nomination announcements, including the big one at the end for Big Picture. Here are the nominees for achievement in film editing. Don't Look Up. Dune. King Richard. The Power of the Dog. And Tick, Tick, Boom. Why, Leslie, don't you look beautiful?
Well, thank you, Tracee.
Oh, you're
Next,
welcome.
I get to announce everyone up for achievement in makeup and hairstyling, none of whom showed up at my house this morning. I did this all myself.
You did?
Yeah. Now, here are the nominees. Coming to America. Cruella. Dune.
The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
And House of Gucci.
And now it is time to meet a huge movie fan coming to us from Tampa.
A huge movie fan and a huge guy. Well, to me, everyone is huge.
Oh, Leslie. He is a WWE superstar who established the award-winning Thaddeus M. Bullard Academy at Sly Middle Magnet School. The Academy's mission is to serve economically disadvantaged students by providing them with a first-class education and creating a wonderful culture of positivity. Here is Titus O'Neill.
Thanks, Tracee and Leslie. To read the names of the nominees in this next category is a fellow movie lover, 8th grade track star, high honor roll student, Courtney Anderson, who loves the entire Twilight movie series. Courtney, take it away.
Here are the nominees for the Best Animated Feature Film. Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machine, and Raya and the Lost Dragon.
Well done.
Yay, yay, yay. So thanks to Titus, Courtney, and all those amazing students for joining us.
And now, here are the nominees for Achievement in Music Original Song. Be Alive from King Richard.
Dos Oruguitas from Encanto.
Down to Joy from Belfast.
No Time to Die from No Time to Die.
Hey.
And Somehow You Do from 4 Good Days.
The category is Best Documentary Short. Oh, you're making me do the short category again.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
It was you. It was you. Here are the nominees for Best Documentary Short Subject. Audible. Lead Me Home. The Queen of Basketball. 3 Songs for Ben Azir. And When We Were Bullies. And now here are the nominees for Best Documentary Feature. Ascension, Attica, Flea, Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised, and Riding with Fire.
Joining us from Times Square are New York's bravest members of the Fire Department of New York. At the microphone is fellow movie fan Lieutenant Thomas Carrera, whose favorite movie is Goodfellas.
Thank you, Leslie and Tracee. Coming to you live from Times Square, here are the nominees for Achievement in Visual Effects. The envelope, please. Dune. Free Guy. No Time to Die.
Wow.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Spider-Man. No Way Home.
Thank you so much to all the firefighters, paramedics, and EMTs for all that you do. I wave every time you drive by. I say, hello, firefighters. I really do. Next up, the nominees for Achievement in Cinematography. Dune. Nightmare Alley. The Power of the Dog. The Tragedy of Macbeth. And West Side Story. And now, here are the nominees for Achievement in Production Design. Dune. Nightmare Alley. The Power of the Dog. The Tragedy of Macbeth. And West Side Story. Oh my God, Leslie, are you wearing something different again?
Just because I'm hunkered down doesn't mean I can't dress up.
Okay.
So here are the nominees for Best International Feature Film. Drive My Car, Japan. Flea, Denmark. The Hand of God, Italy. Luana, A Yak in the Classroom, Bhutan. And The Worst Person in the World, Norway.
Leslie, you keep stealing all my lines.
There's one for you.
Okay, thanks. Let's head to Ira Aldridge Theater at Howard University in Washington, D.C., where we have a special presenter. Felicia Rashad is Dean of the Chadwick A. Boseman College of Fine Arts and joins us with some of her students. Hello.
Hello, and thank you, Leslie and Tracee. All of our students here are so inspired by Chadwick Boseman, a Howard grad who was so committed to this university. And as you know, Chadwick was nominated last year for Best Actor, and we are so honored to announce the nominees in this category. Speaking on behalf of the students who are with us today is a senior who's receiving his BFA in acting, John Woods III.
The nominees for performance by an actor in a leading role are Javier Bardem in Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield in Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith in King Richard, and Denzel Washington in The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Yes.
That might be the first time.
Well
two
done.
African
Beautiful.
Americans
Thank
got
you, Felicia
one.
and John,
That's
and
interesting.
all of the students who joined
Wow.
us today.
Wow.
And now, the nominees for performance by an actress in a leading role. Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Olivia Colman in The Lost Daughter.
Penelope Cruz in Parallel Mothers.
Nicole Kidman in Being the Ricardos.
And Kristen Stewart in Spencer. Just 2 more categories left.
Woo! This is so exciting. The first is for achievement in directing, and the nominees are Kenneth Branagh, Belfast.
Ryusuke Hamaguchi, Drive My Car.
Paul Thomas Anderson, Licorice Pizza.
Jane Campion, The Power of the Dog.
And Steven Spielberg, West Side Story.
And finally, the big one.
Best
Here's the nominees for Best Picture.
Oh boy.
Belfast, Laura Berwick, Kenneth Branagh, Becca Kovacic, and Tamar Thomas, producers.
Coda, Philippe Rousselet, Fabrice Giaffermi, and Patrick Waxberger, producers.
Don't Look Up, Adam McKay and Kevin Messick, producers.
Drive My Car, Teruhisa Yamamoto, producer.
Dune, Mary Parent, Denis Villeneuve, and Cale Boiter, producers.
King Richard, Tim White, Trevor White, and Will Smith, producers.
Licorice Pizza, Sarah Murphy, Adam Sumner, and Paul Thomas Anderson, producers.
Nightmare Alley, Guillermo del Toro, J. Miles Dale, and Bradley Cooper, producers.
The Power of the Dog, Jane Campion, Tanya Segachian, Emil Sherman, Ian Canning, and Roger Frappier, producers.
And West Side Story, Steven Spielberg and Christy McCosco Krieger, producers. 10 great Best Picture nominees. Everybody, please make sure to watch the Oscars on March 27th on ABC and go to oscars.org to learn how you can vote to get your favorite movie and movie moment featured on this year's Oscar telecast.
It was so exciting to wake up with you, Tracee. I can't wait for Oscar night.
You're the best, Leslie. Oh, what a treat you are. And the best part, you're already dressed.
Hey, everybody, we're going to stick around and review. We're going to stick around and review who got.
And now
what.
let's hear from professional.
Oh, excuse me. They are
Bring
doing
in
something.
bring in Reese Feldman. If you are ready for us, we can go through the Best Picture nominees because we are dying to hear from you.
Yep, there we go.
I am so excited about every picture that's nominated. This is exactly what I wanted to hear. To start off, Kenneth Branagh's Belfast is such a deeply personal film, and it reads through every shot in the movie. And he angles it through the lens of like adolescence, and it really just paints this really sweet portrait of a family in an otherwise tumultuous time in Northern Ireland's history. Coda. I really love when incredibly charming films like this one get recognized by the Academy. Also, while Sound of Metal was a solid stepping point for the deaf community's representation in film, Coda really drives home the point that these stories need to be told and need to get made. And it's easily one of my favorites from the year. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. Don't Look Up. Another one where I really just love when comedies get recognized by the Academy. And of course, when the movie is headlined by Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, you know it was going to be good. And while the comedic bits are awesome, I really do love those introspective, dramatic beats like the final dinner scene. Just wonderful. Drive My Car. This is one that I'm grinning ear to ear because of this nomination. The Japanese film industry has always been and remains to be such a powerhouse of cinema. And out of all the movies I've seen this year, it's definitely the most atmospheric, and it's 3-hour runtime, although long. It's just every shot in it, you could just tell it's nothing short of perfect. I'm very excited that I'm alive at the same time as Denis Villeneuve, just because he is such an ambitious filmmaker, and every one of his films is just a masterpiece. He just churns out hit after hit. And Dune, he just effectively brings this amazing story right off the page, and it translates perfectly onto the screen. When I first heard that they were doing a Venus Williams and Serena Williams biopic, I thought it was going to be the normal route. But when I watched King Richard, I was so pleasantly surprised it was from the perspective of their father. And it was such a brilliant choice that 100% works. It's just like a really great biopic with a particularly interesting glance into a brief time before we knew who they were. Now, Paul Thomas Anderson is, he's always great, and Licorice Pizza is nothing short of great. And I really love the fact that not only is it a coming-of-age movie, but that he cast 2 new actors as the leads. And their acting doesn't read as inexperienced at all, but instead reads as raw and genuine, and it just works for the movie. Now, this next one, I'm a big fan of the original. Nightmare Alley from 1947 with Tyrone Power is great. So when I heard that they were remaking it, I was a little nervous, but of course Guillermo del Toro is just a genius, and he adds his own creativity to the film, and I guess his expertise on horror really helped this thriller just go over the top and be so good. Jane Campion, I love all of her work, but I really feel like this is her magnum opus. She combines the aesthetic beauty of a John Ford Western in Power of the Dog with this deeply intimate look into like the interesting power dynamics of a family, from the pawn scene to the rope scene. It's all just so good. And then lastly, but definitely not least, West Side Story. It's such a great movie. Steven Spielberg is obviously one of the best directors to ever live, and he takes on such a familiar story, but adds so much of his own flair to it, and it just works in the best way possible. He makes the story his own, and it's easily one of my favorites from this past year.
This has been so much fun. They should put us in a sitcom remake.
Oh, I agree. I can see it now. The Really Odd Couple. Oh my God. Leslie, can you imagine the wardrobe budget? We would look amazing.
How about we make a buddy cop movie? He's the small-time sheriff from Tennessee who came to the big city.
And she's the tough-talking cop from the wild streets of Beverly Hills. Oh my gosh, I can smell it. I smell Oscar 2023. Until then, everybody, thank you for joining us, and congratulations to all of the nominees. Make sure to watch this year's Academy Awards on Sunday, March 27th on ABC, and what a treat to spend this early morning with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Leslie?
Yes.
I can't wait for us to reunite.
Soon.
Hey, folks. Again, I'm going to stick around and recap the Oscars. And they're going away, but I'm not going away. In fact, I'm going to go to the Oscar website and go over the summary, and then we'll go to social media, Twitter, and see what the reactions are. But let's go to the Oscar website first of all. And the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences should have Oscars.org, should have their, let's go here. Let me take you to where I'm at, and the beautiful Academy website here that I'm going to present momentarily. Hope you enjoy it. Welcome to my presentation of the Oscar nominations, and I'm sharing the screen with you from, boom, there it is. Isn't that cool? This is the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences website. And what we're going to go do is go in like so. This is the Let's scroll down here. I accept, of course. And let's see. They should have Oscars. Let's see if they have the nominations here. Let's see how they have the news. If we go news like that, that's just done. I presumably don't have the summary. Let's see, read more. And they did a fantastic job. There's the format. Oh, here we go. Well, these are the areas that were listed, but they do not yet have the tallies. So let's go to Twitter and then check out what the tallies were. You can pretty much, if you watched it, guess that Dune and Power of the Dog were among the top getters. And Best Actress, Nicole Kidman, seems to be the favorite to win, although others think it's going to be Lady Gaga for Best Actress, right? Now, let me get the Twitter version here of what's happening, and you can see what people are saying, right? This is the scuttlebutt, well, not scuttlebutt, but these are the tweets about Nicole Kidman. I had it highlighted because at the time, her name popped up as a, excuse me, I'm going the wrong way here. Her name popped up as a favorite, as a trend there. So I'm going to do this one more time so you can see it easier. Zooming in. Director, there's a rule. Best director gets the nod, okay? So the question is, for Best Picture, the question is, all right, for the Directors Guild Award, okay, who's the one that got that one? And I don't believe the Directors Guild Award had been done yet. Awards. Let's see here. The 36th annual DGA has not, for 2022, has not been posted. And so, Directors Guild Award. And so, it hasn't been posted here. Wait a minute. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza. So Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza got the Directors Guild. So that means that Licorice Pizza is the favorite for Best Picture, because 70% of the time, the winner of the Directors Guild Award gets the Best Director and Best Picture. So if you're betting, that's the bet. Now, let's go back and see on Twitter. We can go back to what's been said about, of course, those Best Actors and Best Visual Effects, Best Makeup. Let's go back to there's Mr. Garfield there. Makeup and hairspray, Coming to America. Best Visual Effects. They said No Time to Die. Wow. And all right, here we go. All right. The nominees for Best Picture are Dune, Coda, Belfast, King Richard, Licorice Pizza. There you go. Don't Look Up, West Side Story, The Power of the Dog, Drive My Car, and Nightmare Alley. Now, in all this, okay, because Paul Thomas Anderson, PTA, got the award from the Directors Guild, he is the front runner for Best Director, and Licorice Pizza is the front runner for Best Picture. I haven't seen Licorice Pizza yet. Want to, and but that's the way it runs. Now, let's go through the others. I'm going to go through. I'm trying to see if there's a tally of totals yet. I know someone's done one. I should have done it myself. But anyway, Dune, Coda, Belfast, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Don't Look Up, That's the Adam McKay movie, which actually appeared on Netflix. Pretty good movie. It kind of drags on. It's a good story though. It's about reports that a meteor is going to hit the United States and then the plans to deal with that, and how basically people are so into whatever it is they're into, they could care less. West Side Story. I am in love with Ariana DeBose. I am just in love with her. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I'm in love with her. She can do no wrong in my book anywhere. I would. Wow. Anyway, okay. Power of the Dog and Drive My Car, Nightmare Alley. Power of the Dog has been nominated several times. Nightmare Alley is the Guillermo del Toro movie based on original that was made, I believe, 1937. Anyway, let's see what the comments are here. Okay. Comments are, man, the Academy just couldn't do it, could they? Spider-Man No Way Home simply saved the cinema industry. George Lucas is always right. No matter how good they are, the Academy just straight up doesn't like popular films. There's a lot of truth to that. Spider-Man No Way Home got, I believe, some of the highest ratings in Rotten movie ratings ever. 100%, I think, in a number of organizations' ratings and rankings, and of course, a runaway box office hit. People love the film, and this has been the case for a long, long time. However, science fiction, fantasy, pop culture films, comic book films, anything that has to do with a lot of special effects seems to almost rankle the Oscars. It's hard to break in. However, it's hard to break in, okay? However, you would think a movie like Spider-Man No Way Home would at least be put up there for Best Picture to get people to watch the Oscars, but that's not happening. And of course, Oscar ratings have been just in the tank, unfortunately. Hopefully it's different this time because a number of films are accessible via Netflix. But this person, Santi, is absolutely right in the assessment that they put out there when they say, man, the Academy just couldn't do it. Spider-Man No Way Home did save the film industry. It really did during the pandemic. It got people to come in and watch films in the theater. There's just no way around that fact. But hey, in Cat with a Cap says, literally, what did No Way Home do that warranted a Best Picture nomination? ? You understand it also need to be nominated for other important categories, not just Best Picture, right? You're going to tell me it had generally great screenplay, cinematography, please. Well, let's pick on that, okay? There have been films in the past that got no other nomination but were put up for Best Picture. That has happened. And there's no rule that a movie has to be considered for Best Picture after getting a nomination someplace else. There's no rule that says that. It happened, for example, many years ago, it happened with, I believe, Iron Man and with Robert Downey Jr. And although I believe Robert did score a nomination as Best Actor, because that really marked his career return. So, but then there have been other examples too of movies that were non-traditional, if you will, that wound up in the Best Picture category. And someone says, "Don't Look Up." I don't anything but Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up for Best Picture is it was surprising that it was there, but I believe Don't Look Up is this year's. I think Don't Look Up is this year's Best Picture ad to get people to watch the Oscars. Okay, because it appeared It's kind of a special effects movie. It appeared on Netflix, designed for popular consumption during the pandemic, right? It was an amusing film with a chock full of stars. And note, there were 10 listed Best Picture nominees. And the more Best Picture nominees there are, the greater the Oscar ratings tend to be. Why? Because that's more movies that chances are you saw and then want to tune in to see if that movie that may be a favorite of yours gets Best Picture. Could happen. Could happen. So there's that, right? It says at least Andrew got the actor nod, but no Tick Tick Boom is a pain. Tick Tick Boom. Boomers nominating Don't Look Up because it's like in real life. Oh yeah. And this person says, really, this movie is mediocre. I don't think it's mediocre. One of the greatest actors of our times, Mads Mikkelsen. Spider-Man No Way Home robbed. Yep. The Academy has a bias against Super Bowl hero films. This category proves it. Don't Look Up instead of Spider-Man. Come on. I agree with that. Okay. There is a bias. It continues. Drive My Car, Best Picture. The fact that Don't Look Up was nominated, but Spider-Man No Way Home and Tick Tick Boom wasn't, is a crime. And Blockbuster saved the industry last year and get nothing with a joke. Again, folks, for those of you new to Oscar nominations, this has been the case for quite some time. I'll be 60 years old this year. I have watched the Oscar nominations going all the way back, some now 30 years, 35 years, and in earnest. And that has always been the case. And of course, when you watch them as a younger person, you tend to like films that, well, younger people like, right? And so you're always looking for your blockbuster favorite to get the nod. And I'm telling you, in 30 years, just Lord, let me live to see it happen. Once, that a popular picture gets the nod. But, well, hey, someone might say Dune. Dune is a science fiction movie, right? So let's let me adjust that a little bit. Dune was long, elaborate, and somewhat plotting, kind of like the first version of it. There's Dune. All right. There's Dune. Let's see what was said. And so Dune is a science fiction special effects laden movie. So maybe we're being a bit too hasty, right? Let's put in Dune here and see what we get. In agreeing. All right. Science box pane. Dune. Nominee for Best Visual Effects, Dune, Shang-Chi, No Time to Die, Spider-Man, No Way Home, Free Guy. Let's see here. And it's one of the Oscar nominations for Best Picture. But, of course, it says Dune's opening with Zendaya's Chinese saying, "My planet as Iraq is so beautiful and the sun is low. It's so powerful. You simply had to be in that IMAX theater when it hit." So Dune, as made, is a beautiful film, really is, and it also has the best adapted screenplay as well. So I think I'm glad we're going through this. So there's another Dune IMAX ratio comparison I put together. This time part of Shang-Chi's prologue. Wow, this is full of some very beautiful scenes. Dune is. Best costume design: Dune, Cruella, Cyrano, West Side Story, Nightmare Alley. I can see a scenario where Dune takes a significant number of the technical awards. And here, the Associated Press reported 8 minutes ago, breaking, the Oscar nominees have been announced. The Netflix film The Power of the Dog leads with 12 nominations, followed by sci-fi epic Dune with 10. So, let's call a timeout there. We have a science fiction film, Dune, receiving 10 nominations. So the idea that maybe it's not a Marvel blockbuster, but it is a science fiction film. And so let's celebrate this. And I think I'll make a video about that. It's great to be wrong. Dune received 10. Dune received 10 nominations. No. 10. Dune received 10 Oscar nominations. 10. Not bad. I remember the original Dune. The original Dune did not do anywhere near like this well come Oscar time. It just didn't. It was a different time. Science fiction movies really were kind of like, huh? What is an award for that? No. Okay. Different story, different time. Finally. Now, let's go to, let's see here. Back to Twitter, and let's read what the Associated Press has put together. Power of the Dog tops Oscar noms with 12. Dune nabs 10. And it reads, Jane Champion's gothic western Power of the Dog led nominations to the 94th Academy Awards, where streaming services more than ever swept over to Hollywood's top honors. In nominations announced today, Champion's film landed a leading 12 nominations, including nods for Best Picture, Best Director, and all of its top actors: Benedict Cumberbatch, Kirsten Dunst, Jesse Plemons, and Cody Smith-McPhee. Campion, a nominee for 1993's The Piano, became the first woman to ever be nominated twice for Best Director. Last year, Chloe Zhao became just the second woman to ever win the award. Champion's director of photography, Ari Wagner, also became the second woman ever nominated for Best Cinematography. The only previous woman to do so was Rachel Morrison for Mudbound in 2018. Hey, how about I don't know who was writing this for the Associated Press, but they're really on it. Jake Coyle is providing this valuable trivia lesson here. Denis Villeneuve's majestic sci-fi epic Dune followed closely behind with 10 nominations. The nominations for Best Picture are Belfast, I want to see that, The Power of the Dog, Dune, Drive My Car, West Side Story, Don't Look Up, Licorice Pizza, Coda, King Richard, Nightmare Alley. Nominations were announced Tuesday morning. A largely virtual awards season added to some predictability to this year's nominations, which are occurring later than usual. To make way for the Olympics, the Oscars will be held March 27th and will return to the usual venue, the Dolby Theater. Yay. The nominees for Best Actress are Jessica Chastain, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman, The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz, Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart for Spencer. The nominees for Best Actor are Will Smith, King Richard, Javier Bardem in Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch, The Power of the Dog, and Andrew Garfield, Tick, Tick, Boom, and Denzel Washington, The Tragedy of Macbeth. The nominees for Best Supporting Actress are Jessie Buckley, The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose, West Side Story, Judi Dench, Belfast, Kristen Dunst, The Power of the Dog, and Anjanou Ellis, King Richard. And it goes on to report that the nominees for Best Supporting Actor are Claren Hines, Belfast, Troy Kotsur, Coda, Cody Smith-McPhee, The Power of the Dog, Jesse Plemons, The Power of the Dog, and J.K. Simmons, Being the Ricardos. The nominees for Original Song are Be Alive from King Richard, Dos Agotas from Encanto, great movie. I loved Encanto. Down to Joy from Belfast. No Time to Die from No Time to Die. Somehow You Do from 4 Good Days. The nominees for Best Animated Feature are Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon. The nominees for Documentary Feature are Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised, Flea, Attica, Ascension, and Writing with Fire. Nominees for Best Director are Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Jane Campion for Power of the Dog, Steven Spielberg for West Side Story, and Ryusuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car. The nominees for Best Original Score are Don't Look Up, Dune, Encanto, Parallel Mothers, and The Power of the Dog. The nominees for Costume Design are Cruella, Cyrano, Dune, Nightmare Alley, West Side Story. The nominees for Original Screenplay are Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and The Worst Person in the World. The nominees for Adapted Screenplay are Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, and The Power of the Dog. And it goes on to read the AP account is that including from films released in myriad ways, these Oscar nominations reflect a tumultuous pandemic year for Hollywood that began with many theaters shuttered and ended with Sony Pictures' Spider-Man No Way Home smashing box office records. And that's why people are saying, hey, look, reward the box office winner in some kind of way like this. But I have to put an adjustment on the tape. The bottom line is that Dune is a sci-fi movie and so even though Dune didn't do as well for a host of reasons as Spider-Man, among them it's not Spider-Man, it is a sci-fi movie designed for lovers of the story of Dune, and it's the world that it sweeps you in to enjoy. So it's a little bit of an adjustment there, but I've said that before. Now it goes on to say, the AP account, that in between much of the normal rhythm of the movie business was transformed because of the pandemic, as studios pushed some of the biggest movies of the year to streaming services in a bid to lure more subscribers. Films include Dune, despite the objections of its director, Pixar's Luca, and King Richard were among those that went straight to homes. As COVID-19 cases surged in the last 2 months during the Omicron variant, much of Oscar season also turned virtual. Last year, the pandemic led the Academy to host a delayed Oscars and a socially distanced ceremony at Los Angeles Union Station. Ratings plummeted to an all-time low of 9.85 million viewers. This year, the Academy has yet to map out plans for its show, except that it will include a host for the first time since 2018, a great move. For better or worse, the Academies will also be without its usual lead-in. The Golden Globes in January were an untelevised non-event after NBC said it wouldn't air them in 2022, while the beleaguered Hollywood foreign press reformed itself after ethics and diversity criticisms. Other changes were more subtle, but potentially impactful. For the first time, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences ruled out hard copy DVD screeners for its members, who instead could watch submissions on the Academy's streaming platform. So there you go. That was a pretty good account by Jake Cole. There, did a nice job. Now, thank you, by the way, for watching. I'm not saying that to indicate that I'm done. I'm not at all. I'm going to give that a favorite though, and so I'm going to see what people thought regarding back to the Oscar nominations itself. And I'll take you back to Twitter momentarily, and like right now, okay. So boom, there's Twitter, and so let's go back here to move this out of the way and refresh the screen like so. And then go back here for Oscar noms like so, and then go to latest. Let's see latest commentary. I predicted 78 out of 105 nominations. But I am so happy I was wrong about Drive My Car in BP and Screenplay. What an excellent thing. And my French, it basically is not exactly what it used to be, but it says basically the 10 nominations for Denis Villeneuve celebrating the director of Dune, and a triumph in techniques and citation. It received apparently 3.2 million francs in its box office in France. I got it. I moved through there okay with what little French I did remember. Gotta use it. Moving winning people hearts is greater than Oscar award. That's it. That was the tweet. Okay. There is no point of comparison. Oscar's always the same. Where is Lady Gaga? Lady Gaga received a great deal of acclaim for her work, and you see, let me go back to. I was so happy The Hand of God was nominated. Oh my, what a shot! Best Actress category is certainly the biggest surprise of all. Can't believe they're missing BAFTA noms. Great point. That's great. That's a great point. There's Spencer. People want Kristen Stewart there. And Geeky says the Oscar noms are absolutely a roller coaster. I'm absolutely devastated about how little recognition Tick, Tick, Boom and The Eyes of Tammy Faye received. That's what this is saying here. You have thoughts on that? Jessica Chastain was robbed. Lin-Manuel was robbed. Andrew Garfield. Ernest Owens says today the Oscar campaign battle between Gaga and Stewart has concluded with one victor, Kristen Stewart. And he says his Rolling Stone op-ed on this might explain why. So let's go and check this out. I'll read it to you. Spare you. It says this is Ernest Owens. He says Lady Gaga and Kristen Stewart stands are turning the Oscar campaign toxic. That's the headline here. He writes, I never thought fan culture could go this far until the spam emails. Excuse me, because I just got interrupted by an ad and another ad. This is wild. This has got ad after ad. This is weird. You get ad after ad, and I click the X to get rid of the ad, and it's not going anywhere. And it just takes me to another ad. Wow. Come on, Rolling Stone. I mean, seriously? Do you have to do this? Let me refresh, and there it is. That was awful. I mean, you can't even read, what's out there, right? Crazy. All right. Crazy. Anyway, this gentleman writes that he says, I never thought, let me just show you what I'm writing here. Oh, hello. Let me share this with you folks so you can get a taste for what's happening here regarding this complaint. Or let me just scroll it down. This is what I'm going to read to you right now so you can get an idea of what Ernest is saying. And he says it's toxic. This is what he reported, okay? As I scroll down here. He writes, "Oh, get this! I have to have a subscription. Hey, how about that? It's a paywall. So, folks, I can't read it to you because I do not have a Rolling Stone subscription to read to you what he's talking about. So, guess what? I can say go and check it out, but that's about it. And chances are you might not want to do a paywall. And he didn't get any comments here, right? To do that. So there is, that's 21st century media for you. Okay. Folks, you want to make money, don't use a paywall. Paywalls are the worst. Oh, I cannot stand paywalls. Because why? You wind up skipping them. going through them. Black says Oscar noms read our classic Andrew Garfield interview. Gadget 360 talks about the full list of Oscar nominations. And says Lucia Farfan says it's literally crying for this Oscar nom. Thank you, the Academy, for actually seeing this huge performance by Andrew Garfield. There's Andrew Garfield. And so, and we've got the Academy listing the nominations for Best Picture and so on. So these are the tweets here. No giant complaint yet. Let's go back to Twitter and then see if there's something that I missed regarding a complaint. There's the Oscar nominations, Tuesday Vibe. There's Jane Campion that's celebrating her Best Actress. They're discussing Nicole Kidman and Being with Ricardos, Jessica Chastain, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman, Lost Daughter, and the rest. Denzel is celebrated as being nominated. John Williams today is John Williams' birthday. Remember it's Star Wars? Happy birthday to John Williams. He turns 90 today. His extraordinary body of work includes, as you know, soundtracks to Star Wars, Jaws, Indiana Jones, and E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I'll make a separate video about that, and I'll go and listen to Star Wars later. So with that, it was Best Picture. No complaints. We actually got through an Oscar nominations without any major controversy. How about that? Actually, there was no controversy. Remember, it was Oscar so white in the past and everything else, right? But no, we finally have gotten to a point where we got it right for a change, which is kind of nice. So thank you for joining me live. We've been on for an hour, 6 minutes and 55 seconds and counting. If you haven't done so, subscribe to Zenny62, bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com, and my friend Victoria Vuga is going to join me later in the week, I hope. We're going to talk about her new movie, Lexi. Thanks, everybody. Oh, it's a horror movie.